home fans in Philly, but he is to Ruby that he is straight back in into the team, and something of a risk perhaps to put him back in.
Yes, it is, bearing in mind the opponents as well. But I think he's going to be looking for Carvalho to maybe last an hour if possible. But he hasn't been training back with the players for too long with the first team.
Roberto keeps his place in the front three, Terry. He really is a utility player. He's played in every line, now bar goalkeeper.
Yeah, he keeps us guessing whenever he plays, because you never know where he's going to play, right back, central midfield, or should be challenging for a European spot. That's some way off of
His team days, something of an untried player in the Liga Santander before coming over to join Betis on loan. As you can see, Messi went over there, and the referee immediately waving away any protests.
I think it's Guido Rodriguez who makes the challenge. I think he does get the ball, but I think there was contact with Messi. He's chasing back. He actually doesn't get the ball.
Bojan Kirkic and Samuel Eto'o for the visitors. Barca now looking to draw themselves level at the very least in this one. Here's Messi. There's a really good run through the centre, and De Jong has it in the back of the net. Applause from Setien. Betis looking across to the linesman. But what a wonderful ball and a wonderful run, Terry.
I'm reluctant to go overboard because we know VAR surely is going to have a look at it, but if it is a goal, it's a breathtaking goal from start to finish. It was almost cut out when Barcelona tried what they played out of the back, and then eventually he's a long way onside. I mean, and the chest control and the finish. Let's talk about the pass from Messi as well, to spot the run, the timing of the pass to ensure that his teammate isn't offside. If Messi delays that, De Jong's clearly going to be caught offside, but Messi doesn't. And what a wonderful chest control, composed finish. I had high hopes for this game, and 10 minutes in, it certainly looks to be that way.
And now we live in the age of VAR, both for him as well. Talking about Aleñá proving something, but of course players like Junior Firpo have something to prove as well. Here he is on the ball, receiving it from the scorer for the visitors, De Jong. Now Messi dropping back, and as you said, Arturo Vidal filling in that number 9. Laid down the line into the feet of Griezmann. He leaves the ball. Messi now plays it on, and it's Frenkie de Jong leading the charge for the game being played in the home team's half now.
From 16 players then in a quarter of the pitch.
Here's Messi. He has 6 players ahead of him. Lifted a league high 8 goals in the opening 15 minutes of games this season. So they've certainly lived up to that performance.
I think this is enough difference as well, isn't it? That when Betis are quite prepared at times to concede possession, but everybody back behind the ball. We haven't seen Barcelona do that.
Looking for the runner, having deceived the Betis midfield. Clipped up and over the top. Griezmann has several players.
They're really going to have to concentrate, Betis, and every now and then we've already seen instances in the game that people haven't done that, and Barcelona players have dropped into...
We have seen drop back in the midfield. Now Griezmann cropping up and trying to play it in, and he's found Lionel Messi. Joel Robles just created the barrier and did enough. And you could see as Robles saved that, there were 4 Betis players almost level with their goalkeeper, but another wonderful pass from Barca to divide the Betis rearguard.
And the timing of the pass, it's Issa Mandy who's playing on Lionel Messi. Joel Robles does well, gets out, spreads himself, gets the block. I made that point, but Betis don't normally play this way, and they're happy to be behind the ball and hope that Barcelona don't find the player.
There's another one of those passes in. Can Lionel Messi control? He can. Robles has come out to him. Griezmann tries to roll it past. The keeper does so. The offside flag, though, is up. But that looks like something they've been practicing in training.
Yeah, I wouldn't have expected Setien to imagine that Betis are going to play like this. So I think it might be a case of players improvising. I mean, that's very, very close. The chance doesn't go in, so it doesn't matter too much. But certainly we would have been looking at that much more closely for longer to ensure that Messi was onside or offside.
There's the set. Well, we said it was the showpiece game of the weekend.
Brilliant game so far.
It really has been tremendous. Here's Messi. Down the line for Semedo. Flag stays down. Messi with the arm raised, left-footed, inside the 6-yard box. It was Lenglet at the near post, but it's
work his way into out of danger. Be creative.
You can see here, along with the two central defenders, Guido Rodriguez also dropping back almost to make a 5 into the area. Come Barca, and it's a block challenge from Barca to deny Semedo. Back it goes to Messi, but Nabil Fek's, if you see what I mean, and he caught him with the knee. Here's a replay of Barca's goal, that sumptuous lobbed pass in behind the defence, and De Jong, no, it was
floated up, hung up in the air, and the big right back steaming onto it from nowhere.
They were teammates last season, of course, here at the Benito Villamarín. So from the free kick, Lionel Messi. It's a really inviting one. There's a boot raised by Issa Mandi. Clement Lenglet was diving in there. Roberto. Now he's wearing a different shirt. They're not being quite as friendly. Let's have a look at it here.
I don't think he's ducking that low, is he? It is almost head height. Issa Mandi throws his foot up.
Victor Camarasa came back from loan, was immediately loaned back out as the free kick is aimed in once again towards Lenglet. That time he did connect, but it's...
On that occasion, Ter Stegen stepped out looking like Ronald Koeman, stepping into the between the centre halves of Barcelona. And
Messi lifts it into the area. Appeals go out, the ball is in the back of the net, and Barcelona on the stroke of half-time have drawn level. And of all players to find the back of the net, it is Sergio Busquets. There were appeals initially from Betis. Let's have a look at it here. Certainly not offside.
Can't see anything wrong with that. I'm looking to see if there's a slight touch on the initial free kick. No, it goes straight through to Sergio Busquets, who's not offside and controls it in an instant. And just as Betis looked like they were going to, is there potential of a foul there on Barca from Lenglet? Busquets does well, he controls it, finishes it off from close range. Ruby, even from the distance, from half the pitch time, and they fouled just. Poor defending. Busquets should be picked up, but he does well and doesn't see it too late. Gets a nice first touch, slams it home from close range. Too many Betis defenders appealing. Joe Robles at full length can't get close enough to make the save, and I think on reflection of the first half, it toed and froed, had a great flow to it. I think a draw at half-time is probably the fair result.
Even called him into the squad. Ansu Fati also on the bench, and the young Ronald Araujo too. Top looking for Arturo Vidal, who almost dived out of the way of that. Griezmann found Messi, but Messi looking for an option, had his pocket picked by Bart. Here's Sergio Roberto. Barca looking to get in behind again here as Arturo Vidal turns, lays it back. Lionel Messi from the edge of the area. Oh, it's a save from Joel Robles. We wondered when Messi would begin to find his shooting range.
And again, Arturo Vidal makes that dashing run in behind, fed by Sergio Roberto, then decides to leave it for Lionel Messi. Gets it out of his feet.
Picking up the number 20 and forcing him in the end into a pass. There's Messi with a challenge on Fekir. Now Semedo. Free kick to Barca after Borja Iglesias' challenge on Umtiti. Now Messi. Sergio Roberto now out wide.
Desperate to pass their way through. So your skill level has to be absolutely superb to deal with being put under pressure by teammates shoving
into De Jong. Semedo wanted that, but Messi stayed up, looking for a pocket of space to try and find a shot. Instead, it's to Sergio in the Real Betis half. Lionel Messi starting proceedings from the halfway line, feeding it out wide to in fourth position. And they have away fans wherever they play. There are 54,500 of them in here tonight, give or take a few Barca fans as well, as Messi starts heading down this right flank. Bartra does well just to win a free kick, or a throw-in rather, under Quique Setien, man that signed him from Marbella. Here's Messi into the area. Oh, it's another save from Joel Robles to deny the visitors' captain. And again, Messi went near post and Robles wasn't caught out.
He's matched him all the way through tonight, but fantastic skill. They pick him out, sells the dummy to Marc Bartra.
Ongoing as we see a replay of Sergio Busquets' goal just before the half-time interval. Of course, Betis claiming that Marc Bartra was fouled. You saw him have a look across to the lines of Marc Bartra and then decide to go back to the floor, but the referee and indeed VAR paused. Barca took it back off him. Griezmann to Artur. The run from Sergio Roberto. Instead, it's taken over by Messi. Now Alba. Back it goes to Messi. Clipped up and over the top. Oh, and it was almost a repeat of the goal that he scored here. Look at the expression on Setien's face. And as we mentioned, 7 more goals about to come off the bench in the shape of Joaquin Sanchez for Real Betis.
Well, this occasion, he does have the beating of the goalkeeper, but this season, it just curls away from that far post. That would have been absolutely astonishing, wouldn't it, if he'd replicated exactly the same goal. He's having a tough time last 4 or 5 games in front of goal. By his standards, I have to add that. He's been denied, and he's hit the target. Goalkeepers are making good saves.
Here he is again, Messi. Seeing that effort come off Emerson. But that really would be an attacking change, were it, for the Angolan-born Portugal international. We'll see. Here's Artur. Pulls it onto his right foot, does think about going for goal, drills it straight into the legs of Alex Moreno. Javier Fekir went down. His opposite number 8, Artur, was the player who collided with him. Pass into the area, flick on from Lenglet. Just took that away from his attempts, but there's a loose touch from Marc Bartra. Presenting it right to Busquets. Busquets tries to return it to Messi. Comes back once again to the number 5.
Nothing given.
Nothing given. Nods, says the referee. And there is the goal! Out of nothing, the keeper snipped. Even I paused. And Clement Lenglet, who has been forward on so many occasions for Barcelona, has headed the visitors into the lead. The former Sevilla central defender. And Barcelona have turned this game on its head here.
Well, he's become a real asset in terms of attacking set pieces for Barcelona. You can see in the celebrations there, he's not the biggest of players. But similar to Sergio Ramos, for instance, when you've got that determination, that desire, and that movement to try and get across defenders, and that's what Lenglet has. And that's a tremendous header, back across goal, gets away, gets over the top of Guido. Guido goes down rather tamely. He's appealing, hoping that VAR gives him the benefit of the doubt, disallows the goal. Robles slips, but I think it's the correct technique, isn't it? Head it back across goal. That's why the goalkeeper loses his footing. The goal was coming, if I'm being perfectly honest. They've had more of the ball. It's been all pressure from Barcelona.
Exactly which of that group did have his name taken by the referee. Oh, it is Guido Rodriguez. And the Betis fans not too impressed by the decision. They feel that things have gone against them in this encounter. The two club captains here. I don't think Barca do holding on.
No, it's 10v10. So it's not as if one team had got an advantage. If Barca were down to 10 and Betis had their full complement of players, that would be different. Not the normal amount of players out on the playing field.
Oliver Araujo yet to appear. The 4th official is preparing the number. Of course, free kick now may give the chance for Barca to make that change as Lionel Messi just receives a blow to his right arm. Alex Moreno getting a little bit too close for comfort. Pulling the shirt and everything he can get hold of here. Left wing position where he came up through at Real Sociedad. Learning his trade. It was only at Atletico really that Griezmann became that number. Messi challenged by Barca. They do hold on to it, Barcelona. Messi has it back once again. Griezmann was making the run in the number 9 position.
He's anticipating some action, but it's not forthcoming just yet.
Here's Messi. Knew that somebody would be over there, didn't he? Fighting forward if Griezmann can bring it under control. Distributes to Lionel Messi, who plays it into the feet of Sergio Roberto. No offside.
Wayne was surprised when Messi gave it to him. He's offside. It's the right decision.
There's distribution into the feet of Messi amongst a real pack of green and white. Arturo is racing for Busquets, was actually trying to catch it. Instead it goes to Lionel Messi, who skips away from Marc Bartra, or does he? He feels he's being held there, Messi. VAR will be looking into that. Down. Let's have a look at it ourselves here, Terry.
It does look as if he's got more than a handful of shirt. First of his shoulder, and then when Messi does get round him, as Messi tries to shoot, he's all over the back of him and pulling his jersey.
Well, VAR have looked. Etienne makes a winning return. They didn't relinquish it, Terry.
No, they didn't. It was a valiant attempt from Real Betis. Tough game, tough night for Barcelona. A dramatic night as well.
And 2 red cards thrown into the mix as well, of course, with Nabil Fekir sent off for receiving 2 yellow cards in quick succession. Clement Lenglet following him down the tunnel for the proverbial early bath soon after, but that did not alter the scoreline. There was a claim for a penalty late on by Lionel Messi as he tried to squeeze his way past Marc Bartra, but it didn't matter as Barca went on to claim all 3 points here. We will be down pitch side in just a moment to hear from one player from each side and get the views both from the Betis and indeed the Barca camps. As we see a replay effort in the second period, Clement Lenglet's header ensuring the Barcelona moved within